She said, "You're not my type," but destiny had other plans. Sometimes, the one you least expect becomes the one you can't live without. Hello everyone. Welcome back to The Secret Straight. Today's story is something truly special. One that starts with rejection and ends with transformation. It's a story about how one simple sentence, "You're not my type," turned into a journey of discovery, growth, and love that neither of them saw coming. This is not just about attraction. It's about how two different worlds collided and changed each other forever. It all began on an ordinary morning when he first saw her at a local bookstore cafe. She was confident, elegant, and carried herself with a kind of effortless grace that made people notice her without even trying. He wasn't the kind of guy who turned heads. Simple clothes, quiet demeanor, and always buried in his work. Yet something about her made him pause. Maybe it was her laugh, maybe the way she seemed lost in her own world. He tried to strike up a conversation, but her response was clear and sharp. "You're not my type." Those words stayed with him, echoing longer than he expected. Instead of walking away defeated, he smiled. Not in arrogance, but in quiet understanding. He knew people had types, but he also knew that sometimes life loves to surprise us. Over the next few days, their paths crossed again and again. At first, it felt coincidental, but slowly it started to feel like destiny's design. Each encounter revealed something new. Her frustration with her job, her fear of losing herself in routine, and his calm, patient presence that made her rethink what type really meant. Their connection grew subtly, like the soft light of dawn spreading across the horizon. She began to notice his kindness, the way he helped strangers without expecting anything in return, how he listened more than he spoke, and how his simplicity wasn't a lack of ambition, but a quiet strength. It wasn't about looks or status anymore. It was about how he made her feel, seen, understood, and safe. One evening, after a long day, she found herself sitting in his car, the city lights reflecting off the windshield. The exterior of his car wasn't flashy or luxurious. It was practical, a modest sedan that spoke of reliability more than show. The paint had a few scratches from years of use, but it was clean, well-kept, and reflected his character perfectly. Not perfect, but genuine. The moment she stepped inside, she noticed something different. The interior wasn't extravagant either, yet it had warmth, the faint scent of coffee, soft seat covers that felt like home, and music that played low in the background. She realized it wasn't about what the car looked like. It was about how it felt inside. Just like people, sometimes the simplest ones carry the deepest comfort. He offered her a ride home, and that journey became the quiet beginning of something extraordinary. As they spent more time together, she learned more about his life. He wasn't rich, but he was hardworking. A mechanic who loved fixing things, not just machines, but sometimes people's spirits too. He found joy in small things. Morning sunlight, freshly brewed coffee, the satisfaction of solving a problem no one else could. She, on the other hand, had spent her life chasing perfection. Perfect looks, perfect career, perfect people. But somehow that chase had left her empty. He was the complete opposite of her type, yet every conversation, every shared silence, made her realize he was exactly what she needed. Their relationship didn't bloom overnight. It grew through patience, trust, and the small gestures that speak louder than grand promises. When her car broke down one rainy night, he didn't hesitate to drive across town to help her, soaked but smiling. When she had a bad day, he didn't try to fix her problems. He just listened. Slowly, she began to see that love isn't always loud or glamorous. Sometimes it's quiet, consistent, and deeply reliable. In his world, performance wasn't measured by how fast something moved, but how long it lasted. His car, his work, his love, everything he valued was built to endure. That's what made her rethink her own life. The things she thought were important, appearances, social status, and fancy possessions, suddenly felt small compared to what she was feeling now. He performed best not under pressure, but through compassion, understanding, and integrity. Safety was another thing that defined him. Not the physical kind, but emotional safety. The kind that lets you breathe freely around someone, knowing you won't be judged or compared. Around him, she felt that rare kind of comfort, like coming home after being lost for years. He became her safe space, and without realizing it, she became his inspiration. One day, he told her something that stayed with her forever. He said, "You don't need to be someone's type to be their home." Those words hit her deeper than she expected. She looked at him and saw not a man who didn't fit her list, but someone who rewrote it completely. He changed her perspective, and in a way, changed her life. His unique selling point wasn't his looks or wealth. It was his heart, his ability to stay calm when life got messy, his belief that people could always become better, and his faith in love that doesn't demand perfection. In a world that glorifies speed, he taught her the beauty of slowing down. In a world obsessed with appearances, he showed her the depth of being real. As their story unfolded, she realized love isn't about finding someone who fits your description. It's about finding someone who fits your soul. He didn't have the qualities she once thought she wanted, but he had the ones she truly needed: loyalty, empathy, and the power to make life feel peaceful again. Eventually, she stopped caring about what others thought. Her friends questioned her choices at first. "He's not your type. Why him?" But her heart already knew the answer. He made her laugh without trying, supported her without asking, and reminded her that real connection can't be described by a checklist. Over time, their lives intertwined in the most natural way. They didn't rush things. He continued his work, and she pursued her dreams, but they always found time for each other. Every evening drive in that same old car became their sanctuary, a place where stories, laughter, and silences blended into something beautiful. The exterior world might have seen an ordinary couple, but inside that car, they shared something rare. When it came to price, she realized love doesn't demand luxury. It asks for effort, patience, and truth. He never tried to buy her happiness. He gave her something priceless instead: peace. She, in return, gave him belief that even those who once doubted love can find it again in the most unexpected ways. In the end, their story wasn't about changing for each other, but growing together. She no longer saw him as not her type. He became her choice, her favorite person, her calm in the storm, her home in a restless world. Life has a way of proving that sometimes the people we least expect are the ones who bring out the best in us. She once said, "You're not my type," but what she really meant in hindsight was, "You're not what I expected, you're better." And that's how he changed her life, not by trying to impress her, but simply by being himself. So if there's one lesson to take from this story, it's this: don't let your idea of type blind you to real connection. The person who doesn't check all your boxes might just be the one who fills your heart. Love doesn't always arrive in the form you expect. Sometimes it comes softly, patiently, and completely, turning your world into something you never knew you needed. Thank you for watching The Secret Straight. Remember, sometimes the ones who don't seem like your type are exactly the ones who will change your life forever. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to Secret Straight so you never miss our next emotional and inspiring story. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get instant notifications of our latest uploads. See you in the next video. Until then, stay true, stay real, and keep watching Secret Straight.